Hi there, this is Professor Lepe again, and this unit is Unit 3.9, solving equations using multiplication and division properties. Okay, so again, we're pretty much at the end of the unit, and the end of Unit 3 means that we're solving equations now. Okay, so let's read the statement that says the following: when changing the format of an equation, if you multiply some amount or divide by some non-zero amount for one side of the equation, then you must do the same thing to the other side. And this is because anytime we're working with an equation, we need to preserve what's called equality. Okay, so if you notice that this statement, it's very similar to the statement that we had in Unit 3.8, addition and subtraction properties. Okay, multiplication property of equality. For all the real numbers a, b, and c, if a is equal to b, then a times c is equal to b times c. Okay? And then in division property of equality, for all the real numbers a, b, and c, if the numbers a is equal to the number b, then a divided by c is equal to b divided by c, where c is not equal to 0. Okay? So anytime we do division in mathematics, we have to be very careful. Division is a specialized operation at any level in mathematics courses to ensure that we're not trying to divide by 0. Okay? And so the caution, again, this says that when solving equations, all solutions must be checked. So as we're solving some of the examples here in this unit, we'll make sure to go back and check the solutions. Okay? Okay, let's take a look at example part A. Okay. Solve each equation, check all of the solutions. So, part A. Okay. The equation is x divided by 3 is equal to 7. So, since the equation starts out with division, so to speak, to undo division, you do multiplication. Okay. And again, the idea here is to multiply the equation by some number such that, in this case, on the left-hand side, we're just left with the variable x. Okay? Well, that number is going to be a 3, so we'll use the multiplication property of equality. Multiply the left-hand side of the equation by a 3, and also do the same thing to the right-hand side. Okay? And what you'll notice here is that the 3's will cancel on the left-hand side, okay? And that's what we wanted, so we can get variable x by itself. And let me kind of separate by a box here. And so x will be equal to, and on the left-hand side, 3 times 7, that's going to be a 21. Okay? And let's go ahead and do the check, so I'm kind of running out of space here. Okay. So the check. Go back to the original equation that was here. X divided by 3 is equal to 7, so wherever you see the variable x. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that, it got kind of messy. I'm looking for some space. I had to do everything. 21 divided by 3 is equal to 7. 21 divided by 3, yeah, that's a 7 here. 7 on the right-hand side. So yeah, x equal to 21 is the solution to the equation, and it was obtained by using the multiplication property of equality. Okay, and let's go ahead and do another one. Okay, yeah, we'll do part D. Okay. Okay, so in part D, the equation is 12 times x is equal to 6. So since we have a multiplication here, the multiplication of 12 times x, that will be undone by division. Okay, so we're using division property of equality. So on the left-hand side, we need to divide this term by some number such that x is left by itself, that number will be at 12. And then for the equality portion of the statement, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we must do to the other side. In this case, we're divided by 12. Okay, so the 12s are going to cancel, and we end up with variable x. That's going to be on the left-hand side of the equation, equal to 6 over 12, and we need to reduce this number 6 over 12, and so 6 over 12, that's the same thing as 1/2. Okay, and now what we want to do is check the solution. Okay, so we'll go back to the original equation. Wherever we see the variable x, we'll plug in a 1/2. Make sure that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. So 12 times 1/2 equal to 6. 12 times 1/2, what is this going to be? This will be the number 6 on the left-hand side equal to the number 6 on the right-hand side. And so indeed, the solution to this equation, x equal to 1/2, it is correct. Okay, and so again, we're using multiplication property of equality and division property of equality to solve the equations. Okay, and let me go ahead, clean everything up here. Let's see if we can do one or two more, huh? Okay, let's take a look at, we'll take a look at part 2. Okay, and I believe by now most of you are pretty good at this, so we'll just kind of start picking things up a little bit speed-wise, okay? Okay, so the statement is 36 is equal to negative 3 times x. Variable x is getting multiplied by a number. Let's go and divide both sides of the equation using the division property of equality by the number minus 3. Okay. Okay, so over here, the negative 3's are going to cancel. So we have an x on the right-hand side. And then 36 divided by minus 3, that's going to be the same thing as minus 12. Okay. Now let's do the check. Okay, so the original equation, 36 equal to negative 3 times the variable x. Wherever we see the variable x, we'll plug in a minus 12. So we're going to have 36 is equal to negative 3 times negative 12, positive 36. And so yes, the solution to the equation is x is equal to minus 12. And this equation was solved by using the division property of equality. Okay, and okay, yeah, part 8. No. Okay, here we go. Something that's a little bit more complicated. Okay. The equation is 3/5 m is equal to minus 3, okay? Even though we have a fraction here, the fraction multiplied by the variable, in order to solve the equation, this means we need to do the opposite operation of multiplication. That's going to be division. No, this will be division, okay? So this will be, let me do it like this. 3 over 5 m, that's going to be equal to a negative 3, okay? So again, we have the multiplication here, so we'll use division property of equality, so we'll divide by 3/5, okay? So this ensures that we can get the variable m by itself, And then on the right-hand side, we'll also divide the number minus 3 by a 3/5 because whenever we're using the division property of equality, whatever we do on the left-hand side of the equation, we must do on the right-hand side. Okay. Okay. So far the equation looks like this: m is equal to minus 3 divided by 3/5. Okay. So it's getting kind of complicated here. How do we simplify this fraction? Well, if you remember from a previous unit, the way that we simplify a fraction such as what we have here, minus 3 over 3/5, is to multiply numerator and denominator by the reciprocal of 3/5, and the reciprocal of 3/5 here is 5/3, okay? And so just so we can see everything a little bit more clear, let me go ahead and rewrite now. Rewrite the 3/5 here so you can see, so you can actually see what the reciprocal is, okay? Okay, so by reciprocation, the 3/5 will cancel with the 5/3. And so now we have that m is equal to minus 3 times the fraction 5 over 3, okay? And so in this case, the 3's are going to cancel, but the negative sign is still going to be in front, okay? So now we end up with the solution, m is equal to minus 5, okay? So I'm not going to do the check here. Well, actually I will. Yeah. But it took a little while. We have to be very careful when we have fractions in equations and then using a multiplication or division property to deal with the fraction. Okay. M is equal to 5. Let's check the solution. Okay. So we want to check to make sure that m equal to minus 5 really is the solution to the equation, okay? So what this means to do is to go back into the original equation. That was the 3/5. Wherever you see the m, we'll plug in the minus 5, okay? So minus 5 here. Check to make sure it equals to minus 3, okay? So over here on the left-hand side, the 5's are going to cancel, but the negative sign is going to stay. So on the left-hand side, that turns into a minus 3. Right-hand side, also same thing, negative 3 or minus 3. And so, yeah, the solution to this equation really is, got kind of messy here. M equal to minus 5, and that was verified over here in the check. Okay. Okay, yeah, so what's going on here in problems like part 8 gets more complicated once you start introducing fractions, okay? Now, there is an easier way to solve these types of problems, i.e. find the solutions, but I believe that I'll leave it up to your instructor, whoever the instructor might be, to show you a more quicker way to do it. The purpose in this video was just to show you addition and multiplication property. Later on, as you get good at using these properties, somebody will show you how to use the so-called shortcut methods to make these problems go by faster.